You're listening to this podcast, so I know you've got a curious mind. Here's a helpful fact you may not know yet. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive save over $900 on average. Pop over to Progressive.com, answer some questions, and you'll get a quick quote with discounts that are easy to come by. In fact, 99% of their auto customers earn at least one discount. Visit Progressive.com and see if you can enjoy a little cash back. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National average 12-month savings of $946 by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive between June 2024 and May 2025. Potential savings will vary.
My name is Brenda. Welcome to Horrifying History, where you will hear about the unexplained and supernatural events that have stained the pages of history. On June 1st, 2001, members of Nepal's royal family gathered for what should have been a quiet dinner. There was laughter, conversations about politics, and the future of the monarchy over drinks. Within minutes, the king, queen, and other family members were dead. When the shooting stopped, the murderer became the new king. So set the table, my spooky friends. Today, you will hear the story about a man who fulfilled a curse by killing his own family. Today's story is perhaps one of the most dramatic royal events to ever happen in our lifetimes, and it doesn't involve the British monarchy. It is a tale of power, tradition, love, political instability, and conspiracy theories that many didn't even know about. When a massacre occurred in Nepal, it changed the country forever. But to understand this event, you need to understand Nepal first. Nestled between India and China, Nepal is a country of towering mountains, ancient traditions, and deep spirituality. For centuries, Nepal has been ruled by the Shah dynasty. This dynasty, otherwise known as the Royal House of Gorkha, ruled Nepal from 1559 to 1768, and later from 1768 to 2008. To many people in Nepal, the king was viewed as a divine figure and a living embodiment of the Hindu god Vishnu. Vishnu is one of the principal deities of Hinduism and revered as the preserver and protector of the universe. This belief gave the monarchy enormous influence. The Shah dynasty started under the king of Kaski, who unified Nepal, which used to be ruled by various Mughal kings. Over time, Nepal became isolated from much of the outside world. When the countries surrounding Nepal were rapidly changing through colonialism, industrialization, and revolution, Nepal remained deeply traditional. For generations, power shifted between the royal family and another influential group known as the Rana dynasty. The Ranas effectively controlled Nepal for over 100 years, serving as hereditary prime ministers while reducing the Shah kings to ceremonial figures. In 1951, the Shah's monarchy regained power. Eventually, one man would become the face of modern Nepal: King Birenra. King Birenra was crowned as king in 1972 following the death of his father. He was born in 1945 and was educated both in Nepal and abroad. He went to schools in India, Japan, and the United Kingdom. Unlike other monarchs who demanded absolute authority, King Birenra was seen as thoughtful and reserved compared to the kings before him. For many in Nepal, King Birenra was not even close to being a tyrant. For many citizens, he represented stability and was compassionate. He also was balancing modern pressure with ancient traditions. King Birenra inherited an absolute monarchy, but public opinion about this was changing. By the late 1980s and early 1990s, pro-democracy movements swept through the country. Citizens started demanding constitutional reforms and democratic representation. After a referendum on restoring a democracy was rejected in 1980, the 1990s People's Movement put pressure on the monarchy to change. Eventually, King Birenra agreed, and Nepal transitioned from an absolute monarchy into a constitutional monarchy. Some praised the king for embracing democracy, and others believed that he weakened the country. This was only the start of a curse that was placed on the king's family when the kingdom was originally founded. According to legend, Prithvi Narayan Shah, the founder of the Kingdom of Nepal, began the conquest of small kingdoms in the area, bringing them all under one rule. After the king conquered Kathmandu Valley and declared himself king, he ran into a holy man while marching through the valley with his army. The holy man offered the king a bowl of curd, and the king hesitated. He wasn't sure if this was some sort of trick. To show that the curd was safe, the holy man took a sip of it. He then gave the bowl to the king for him to do the same, and claimed that the bowl of curd was now blessed. Disgusted, the king refused and threw the bowl to the ground. It splattered onto the holy man's legs and feet. Now offended, he told the king that the curd was actually a blessing, and if he had eaten all of the curd, all of his wishes would have come true. But, since he did not, the holy man put a curse on the king. He said that this insult would result in the king's house ending after 10 generations, 1 generation for each toe that the curd had touched. The Shah dynasty had ruled as an absolute monarchy until 1846, when things changed because of an event known as the Cot Massacre. King Rajendra was not a good king. He was very indecisive and was prone to emotional outbursts. Due to this, King Rajendra leaned heavily on his wife, Queen Raja. This resulted in the country's elite splitting up into clans. One of these was the Kanwars, and they had strong influence on the army. One evening, the Queen's BFF, Gagan, was assassinated in his bedroom while he was praying. The Queen suspected that this was done by one of the rival clans, the Pandays. In response, the Queen summoned more than 100 of the kingdom's nobility, officials, and officers to a courtyard. When there, the Queen ordered the army's top general to kill the person who was the leader of the Pandays. General Abin Men Singh hesitated and looked at the king in hopes that he would prevent this. The king said nothing, and the Queen immediately became enraged. After all, she was running things, and the general was not following her orders. This is when a fight broke out, and in the chaos, General Jung Bahadur Kunar ordered the army to control all the exits. This is when the slaughter began, and some of those who were killed were the heads of various clans. Days later, the general became the country's new prime minister and made the role not an elected position, but a hereditary one. This allowed him to keep the role in his family. He did not dissolve the monarchy, but he used it as a puppet while he had complete control over Nepal. Throughout the early 1950s, a movement started calling for the prime minister to be overthrown. King Mahendra was totally good with this for obvious reasons. For generations, his family were just a figurehead. King Mahendra wanted nothing more than to restore his family's control over the country. Eventually, the prime minister was overthrown and the royal family was restored to full power. King Mahendra issued a new constitution and enacted a parliamentary system, which allowed for real elections. He managed to hold on to power until he died in 1972, and the crown then belonged to his son, King Birendra. The new king's son was Crown Prince Dipendra. The Crown Prince was born on June 27, 1971, and was the 10 times great-grandson of the founder of the Kingdom of Nepal. His mother, Queen Aishwarya, was a member of the Rana family, which had ruled the country for the previous 100 years. This marriage was a deliberate political alliance to help heal the historical divide between the different aristocratic families. The power of Parliament and the kingdom was now consolidated. After a series of mass protests, King Birendra was forced to concede. He gave his people what they wanted, which was democracy. But King Birendra's family hated this, since it meant that they would have to give the power back that they fought for over 100 years. To them, it seemed like a step backwards, with the new system having 3 main political parties all campaigning for power. These parties were the Nepali Congress, the Communist Party, and the National Democratic Party. The Nepali Congress and the Communist Party wanted to get rid of the monarchy altogether. The National Democratic Party were pro-royalty. These tensions between these groups built until 1996, when what is called the People's War began. For 5 years, about 17,000 people were killed, and over 150,000 people were displaced. This didn't stop because everyone finally decided to get along. It allegedly stopped because of the curse. King Birendra and his wife Queen Aishwarya had 3 children together. The youngest was 23-year-old Prince Nirajun. His sister was 24-year-old Princess Shuri, who was the oldest, and then came Crown Prince Dipendra, who was 29. He was next in line for the throne. Just like his father, the Crown Prince received an elite education. He studied at Eton College in England and trained with the Royal Military Academy. He also studied geography. He was seen by his peers as intelligent, charismatic, polite, soft-spoken, and patriotic. He loved motorcycles, weapons, and military culture, but there were dark rumors about the prince. Some claimed that he struggled emotionally and felt deeply pressured by the expectations of his current and future roles. He lived under constant scrutiny, and his future marriage would not be for love. It would be a strategic political move. The Crown Prince fell in love with a woman named Devyani Rana. She is the second daughter of the last Maharaja of Gwalior and was a member of the Rana dynasty. She was sophisticated, highly respected, and also tied to the Indian aristocracy. She was well educated, which is how she met the Crown Prince. The two met when the Crown Prince went to the UK to attend Eton. His guardian was Sir Jeremy Baga, the 7th Baronet. The Crown Prince and Devyani met at Sir Baga's home in Norfolk, and the two quickly fell in love. Devyani's family were elite and influential, but she was connected to the Rana dynasty. The Crown Prince did not care and asked her to marry him. According to widespread reports, members of the royal family, especially his mother, Queen Aishwarya, strongly opposed the marriage. There were many alleged reasons. Some believed that Devyani's family connections were politically problematic. Others claimed that there were issues concerning caste and royal lineage. There also was reports that the queen wanted her son to marry someone else. As I said previously, royal marriages in this kingdom were not for love. It was for alliances, tradition, and power. As tension started to grow between the Crown Prince and Devyani's relationship, so did the stories about conflict occurring inside the palace. Some accounts claimed that arguments between the Crown Prince and his parents became increasingly severe. Different accounts claimed that the Crown Prince was drinking heavily and that he was having explosive confrontations with his parents. Even so, his parents expected him to be at the royal family's monthly dinner, and when he went, history changed forever. The evening began normally. Members of Nepal's royal family arrived at Narayanhiti Palace in Kathmandu. The atmosphere was relaxed since this monthly gathering was a private family event. Phones and outsiders were restricted. Inside were some of the most powerful people in Nepal, including King Birendra, his wife, Queen Aishwarya, Prince Nirajan, Princess Shruti, Princess Shanti, Princess Sharda, Prince Dhirendra, and other family members. The Crown Prince arrived for dinner, and he then escorted guests to the palace's billiard room. According to witnesses, he was drinking heavily. Others alleged that he was smoking hash and cigarettes laced with other drugs. Soon afterwards, he started acting erratically. The Crown Prince was told by his parents to go to his room, and family members helped him because he looked very intoxicated. What happened next became one of the most darkest moments of royal history. After going to his room, the Crown Prince spoke with Devyani for a while. Shortly after 10:30 p.m., he returned to the billiard room wearing army fatigues. He had with him an MP5 submachine gun, an M16 rifle, and a shotgun. Then the shooting began. The sound of gunfire carried through the palace. Some people screamed to try to run, and others froze in place. According to the official investigation, the Crown Prince first shot his father, King Birendra, in the neck and stomach. Some reports claim that the king initially survived this first round of bullets and tried to speak to his son. It didn't work. The Crown Prince shot him point blank and killed him. Prince Nirajan was killed while he was protecting his mother, Queen Aishwarya, who was hiding in the palace gardens. The Crown Prince then killed the Queen and his uncle, Prince Dhirendra, who tried to persuade the Crown Prince to put down the guns. The Crown Prince also killed his aunts, Princess Shanti and Princess Sharda, his sister Princess Shruti, the king's cousin, Prince Jawanti, and his brother-in-law, Kumar Ranga Burkham Shah. What was left of the Crown Prince's relatives were severely injured. When people tried to escape, the Crown Prince shot them. By the time the dust settled, the Crown Prince had murdered 9 members of the royal family. After he finished, he turned the gun on himself. He shot himself in the head, but did not die. He slipped into a coma and was brought to Birendra's military hospital with the rest of his wounded and dead family members. The king, queen, and Prince Noraijun were pronounced dead on arrival. Princess Shruti died shortly after she arrived from blood loss. Prince Dhirendra died from his injuries 3 days later. Now, here's where things get weird, my spooky friends. Even though the Crown Prince suffered a gunshot wound to the head, killed most of his family, and was in a coma, he was now the king of Nepal. Under Nepal law, the crown immediately passed to the Crown Prince after his father died. It didn't matter that he was lying in a hospital bed, unconscious, and that he massacred his own family. For the next 3 days, Nepal's new king was a mass murderer in a coma. The royal family's deaths were not announced until the day after the massacre. After confirming the king's death, the Royal Privy Council announced that the Crown Prince was now king, but he was getting treatment in a hospital. The closest surviving family member in the line of succession was now the new regent. The dead were given a state's funeral and were cremated. The image of a murdering comatose king stunned the world. Citizens struggled to comprehend what actually really happened. Outside the palace, rumors exploded. Many refused to believe that the Crown Prince could have done this. King Birendra was loved, and the royal family symbolized national identity. With them gone, Everyone was on edge about what might happen. As the news spread, the country's grief turned into anger. Riots broke out and curfews were imposed. Demonstrations filled the country's streets. Then, on June 4, 2001, the Crown Prince, or should I say King Dipendra, died from his injuries. With his death, the throne was passed to his father's brother, King Jayendra. The coronation and Dipendra's cremation took place a few hours later. Conspiracy theories started immediately. King Jayendra was not present during the massacre. According to officials, he was not in the palace when all of this happened. That immediately raised suspicion amongst many citizens. Why was he not at the dinner? Why did his branch of the family tree survive? And most importantly, who benefited from the massacre? The answer to the last question was obvious: King Jayendra. That alone made people suspicious. Some theories have claimed that the massacre had been orchestrated. Others alleged that foreign intelligence agencies were involved. There was talk about the CIA, India's Raw Intelligence Service, and even rebels. But despite this speculation, there never has been any evidence that proved that any of this was true. Still, distrust remained. Part of the problem was the investigation was done. Many thought it was too brief since the official inquiry lasted only 2 days. There was no forensic investigation, and that seemed unbelievable because this tragedy was of such an enormous scale. Whenever a major historical incident occurs, conspiracy theories emerge, and this case was no different. One major point of controversy involved Dipendra's head wound. Some critics claimed that the injury location appeared to be inconsistent with a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Others questioned the witness testimony. There were allegations that parts of the palace was altered too quickly after the massacre, and that evidence had been destroyed. Another source of suspicion was Prince Paras, who was King Jayendra's son. He had a very controversial reputation. Over the years, he became associated with scandals and allegations of reckless behavior. This reputation caused some to believe that he was untrustworthy. Rumors circulated that Prince Paras or others inside of the palace may have played a role in the royal family's deaths. Again, there was no credible evidence that supported these claims. To this day, the citizens of Nepal still have unanswered questions. Where was the security? And why were they so ineffective? How could a person move around so freely with a bunch of guns? Why was there not an independent international inquiry? The massacre itself did not end Nepal's monarchy, but it shattered the public's trust. King Birendra was widely respected when the new king was not. Political instability occurred, and Nepal faced a violent Maoist insurgency. A civil war occurred, with thousands dying in this conflict. As a result, King Jayendra seized direct control of the government in 2005. His first move was to declare a state of emergency and suspend civil liberties. Many citizens saw this as an authoritarian move. Massive protests started, and public pressure forced King Jayendra to restore parliament. But the monarchy's power was now weakened. In 2008, Nepal officially abolished the monarchy. The centuries-old kingdom became a republic, and the turning point was the royal massacre. In the end, the official report concluded that the crown prince acted alone. His alleged motives included anger over his relationship with Dibiani, his parents forbidding the two to get married, and emotional instability. To this day, many people in Nepal reject that conclusion. They saw this as a love story that ended in blood. So, what happened to Devyani? She fled India immediately after the Royal Massacre to escape media attention. She went back to school and earned a second master's degree in economics. She reportedly worked for the United Nations Development Program in India, and she became India's Government and Corporate Affairs Director. In 2021, she moved back to India and became the Vice President of Public Affairs, Communications, and Sustainability for Coca-Cola for India and Southwest Asia. She married and had a son. Today, Narayan Heti Palace is no longer the home to royalty. It has become a museum. Visitors can walk through the halls where the elite once lived and into the locations connected to the massacre. Many visitors say that the palace carries an eerie and heavy atmosphere, as if it is frozen in the moment of time of the massacre. Maybe it has to do with the curse. Many believe that the massacre was the curse on the Shah family that unfolded. Remember, the curse was that the Shah dynasty would end after 10 generations. King Birenda was the 9th generation of his family to become king, and the crown prince was the 10th. The Nepal royal massacre almost feels impossible to comprehend. A royal family destroyed in a single night, fulfilling an ancient curse? A nation thrown into chaos and a monarchy that would fall several years later? What really happened that night? Regardless of where the truth lies, one fact stays true. The massacre changed Nepal forever. Maybe this is why the Nepal royal massacre continues to fascinate. Not only because it was horrifying, but it still feels like it is unsolved. Thank you for joining me today. What are your thoughts about the Nepal royal massacre? Let us know your thoughts on Facebook at Horrifying History, Instagram and Threads at Horrifying_history, X at Horrifying HIST1, or Blue Sky by searching for Horrifying History. If you already haven't done so, please remember to subscribe to our podcast. When you do, not only do you let more people know about our show, but you download our next episode on its release day. It's a great way not to miss our next episode. The Poisonous Doctor, Thomas Neal Cream. To learn even more about horrifying history, visit our website. When you're there, you will find links to all of our social media and to our YouTube channel, which features not just our podcast episodes, but also additional history-based videos for your enjoyment. We also have a blog that's filled with spooky topics and episode updates to read up on. On top of this site is the home to our fan club, which offers excellent perks like your own feed to listen to our show ad-free, access to new episodes a week early, and a new bonus episode each week. It is also the home to our store filled with spooky merchandise that you guys will love. For our fan club members, you will receive a permanent discount in our store as long as you remain a fan club member. You can find all of this and more at horrifying-history-shop.fourthwall.com. Until next time, remember that history is filled with secrets. Some are eventually uncovered. Others remain locked away in the shadows, waiting to reveal the truth.
If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.
This one is for Hockeytown. For 9 years, we at the Grindline Podcast have been a go-to show for Detroit Red Wings fans who want more than just highlights. Think bar talk with a buddy who brought the receipts. Just a few guys who watch every single shift, pull every stat, and call their shots. Real game recaps, news breakdowns, advanced stats, and no sugarcoating on the team Detroit hockey fans love. Catch 2 episodes a week on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts. Search the Grindline Podcast, like, and subscribe.